were many of these early collages that you did sold. I mean, as certainly you did a number of collages, but did you sell any during the Depression?
No, no collages. I sold some few paintings. When the hell did the Depression ended in 1940, about 41, something like that. I'd sold some works. I think the Museum of Modern Art bought something of mine in the early 40s.
Balcomb, what was your main source of income during the Depression?
Because, of course, the projects started, you know, the art projects.
WPA?
Yeah, WPA. And that was a source of income beginning, in my case, probably about 1936. Before then, I worked a number of things. I worked in an art gallery, and I did some writing for newspapers, magazines. Nothing to do with art.
There is now a revival of interest in the Depression-era abstract movement. Galleries and museums are showing a great deal of work from this period, particularly centered around the group calling themselves American Abstract Artists. Since you were the first chairman in 1937 and an avid spokesman for the group, perhaps you can tell us how the idea for such a group came about.
Well, artists over the year or so before we actually formed the group had met occasionally in the studio, and they'd talk about we should have some kind of a group to further advance the, I guess, the education of abstract art. And the primary idea was maybe at the start not to exhibit, but then we decided to when we got together. Actually, there were two groups, two opposing views at the start. One felt that we should exhibit mainly an exhibition group. The other was educational. What the hell is education? Each other.
I understand that Rosalind Bengelsdorf, Ibram Lassall, and of course your wife Gertrude were the first concerned with forming this group, but who were some of the others who helped mold the group?
Well, there's George L.K. Morris. You've heard of him?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. He was quite active at the start. Gallatin, who had that museum in Washington Square at the time. Vitlachill. I mentioned the names you've possibly heard of, you know. Some others. Old David Smith, who became, you know, before his death, quite influential, well-known. So, Carl Holdy. Always a lot of them.
Do you feel that this group was successful in any manner?
Oh, I think so, yes. We had exhibitions. We had attracted quite a few people. The critics, they may not have liked it, but they did review the thing, our shows. No, the critics were pretty hostile to abstract art, but they didn't ignore it, at least.
Balcomb, what would you say was the purpose of the American Abstract Artists Group?
Well, to get together and have exhibitions and educate the public by showing them the work. Not by, we also issued some manifestos and statements, but the main point was for them to see the work.